Buddy. Hey everybody, just having a different type of chat today. I'm not going to be really working on anything. I'm just going to be checking stuff on the internet, just talking to people. I've got some news to share about actually her. Okay. No, I'm cool. I'm just letting you know it's on. And yeah, so I'm not going to really work on much today. I'm just going to have a shorter stream. Yeah. And yeah, we've got news about this little gal right there. Well, that little gal right there. It's not the best news at the moment. And yeah, what's on people's minds and what's going on the internet. So if you're out there and you want to chat, go ahead, and looking forward to hearing from you. Hey guys, how you doing? Will, Granny, Yeah, the storms have been crazy out here. We're still getting them fairly regularly, but it looks like a lot of them are heading your way, Granny, at this point. It's been crazy. Luckily, no real damage out here. Will, how are you doing? Awesome. It's glad to see you guys. Yeah, we just lucked out. It kept just going south of us, any real damage, but a lot of people in town are without power right now. I think they said there's as many as 60,000 people just in Nashville without power. We had our power out twice, and weirdly, they fixed it within 3 hours both times. I thought that was kind of amazing. And yeah, any real tornadoes seem to have happened in like further outside of the city. But it's all heading to Pennsylvania at this point, so watch out. Thanks. Appreciate it. Oh, hopefully you get some rain then to break it up. But yeah, last week I got nasty food poisoning. Really messed me up. I'm feeling a lot better. I had a Vietnamese meal that was actually really good from a place called Miss Saigon. And I think I must have eaten some bad shrimp or something. But it really hit me hard and fast. Knocked me out for a few days. Yeah, you're pretty much got that right. I could barely even move. And I also got bad news about this little one right here. Norovirus. Oh, geez. Stacy's has a new tumor that is appeared on her throat, and they don't want to take it out. And so at this point, we just need to keep giving her meds, and we're biding time best we can at this point. And she's still eating, and she still is in good spirits, and still likes going on her walk, so it's not really affecting her too much now. But it's no one, they don't think they can operate on it. Hey, Pinky, how you doing? Stacy had another tumor appear, and this one's on her throat. And the doctor and so the surgeon don't think that they can operate on it. And so she's doing really well considering, and she's eating quite a lot, and so we're doing our best. But they're thinking, she doesn't have much longer. or a lot longer, but you never know. Thanks, Granny. I appreciate it. What's going on in Florida, Pinky? She is beautiful. She's one of the gentlest dogs I've ever known. It's always just kind of sweet and a little scared. Well, that's good. You're not working today? Oh, Pinky. It sounds like you need a vacation. Thanks, Granny. That's what today I didn't want to really do an editing stream. I just wanted to kind of like hang out for a little while, not do it so as long, and just sort of check in with everyone and make sure everyone's doing cool. A Hamburg helper type pasta. I made an interesting dish called Mississippi pot roast recently. Crispy potato recipe. What's that about? I made boiled potatoes last week, and it was surprising how good it was. I realized that if you boil a potato, anything you put on it will then taste like it. You don't have to puree it and add crap into it. You can just leave it outside of it and let it float in it. And I just did a bunch of garlic and green onions and some butter. And every bite of the potato was buttery, garlicky, and oniony. What's the potato? What's it called? Your crispy potato recipe? Yeah, easy on the stomach, and it just, I don't know what it is. It's just sort of, if you can keep it on the outside, the flavor on the outside of the potato, it'll carry through and it'll hit your tongue first. Crunchy potatoes. I did a dish called Mississippi pot roast, and it's a pot roast, and you add a packet of ranch seasoning, a package of gravy mix, a stick of butter, and a jar of pepperoncinis, and slow cook it for hours. Crispy. Will, is it crispy smashed potatoes? Will, is it something like that? Yeah, potatoes are pretty amazing. Me and Mary went out last night for fried chicken, and then the entire area we went to, the power had just gone out, and so we ended up at a place called Wing Basket, and the best the best food we got out of all of it was the potato, the fries. Everything else was just like okay to bad, but the potato saved it. You ever put honey on a baked potato? It's pretty good. It seems like every single person that's trying to make crispy potatoes boils them first. I feel like that's something I've just learned. Oh, the 1,000 layer. This is what I was wondering if Will was doing, the 1,000 layer potato. Have you seen this 1,000 layer potato before? Yeah, ducktail make anything taste amazing. That's like a rule in French cooking. Yeah, no kidding. Mandolins will slice you right up. It's almost just making a terrine, a potato terrine. I'm not sure if that's gonna be 1,000 layers. But I think you cut it and you bake it again, though, if I remember correctly. There's also, one of the world's best chefs named Heston Blumenthal. His his French fry recipe takes 3 days, but it's pretty amazing. And, there's a company called Uber Tubers, which I think just copies that fry recipe, and they do the French fries around town for a couple restaurants, and they're insanely good. Oh, wow, you just deep fry it. Wow, make like little potato mush cakes. Wow. Crunch, crunch, crunch. This is Heston Blumenthal's best French fry. No, I didn't. I didn't tell him. It was hours had gone by, and to tell you the truth, the restaurant was kinda dead, and, I wasn't 100% sure that it came from there, but it definitely did. Um, it was, I wasn't I don't know. I feel like it was literally it was an amazing, delicious meal. I feel like if anything, I got a bad shrimp or the shrimp just seemed to be cooked a little longer, and that's just me guessing at this point, like, what it actually was. For all I know, like, the dessert that was frozen and old is what made me sick. I don't know. Um, it's just one of those things. Yeah, I know. I know. Right, it could have been anything, and, I don't know. I'm just probably not gonna go there again. Drinking matcha? Ugh, yuck. That sounds horrible. Huh. Some matcha is pretty intense. There's some weird stuff floating in it, and a lot of it is really strong. Yeah, matcha can be weird from batch to batch. It, you gotta be careful. Um, Turbot. Yeah, I'll stick to just not trying not to consume caffeine. That's my big goal right now. I got that with maca too. I can't drink maca at all anymore. I used to really like it, but maca started making me vomit violently. But if you can handle maca, I recommend taking maca, MACA. Yeah, I tried some of that mushroom coffee with Mary, and she freaking hated it. It's a good idea in theory until you have to drink it. Yeah, it's not all we're not all geared for just any old wild new thing to put in our bodies, I guess. I was almost thinking for me, I was just like I hadn't had fish sauce in years, at least not willingly, and maybe there's just some bad fish sauce. But I couldn't really taste it too well. I bet. Hmm. So what's cool on the internet right now? Pinky or Granny or anybody still there? We did our due diligence for potatoes. Okay, well, what's going on the internet? Other than all the protests, I don't know about too much else. We definitely covered potatoes today. In fact, I think we should make it a regular thing where we just talk about potatoes. Potatoes would be it. Potato soup, potato stew, stewed potatoes, fried potatoes, boiled potatoes. I used to like making salt and vinegar potatoes. It was pretty similar to the roasted potato recipe, except you boil the potatoes originally in literally like a half a cup to three quarters of a cup of salt, and then you put them on the tray and bake them in the oven and just soak them in vinegar. And then once they come out, you've got crispy salt and vinegar potatoes. Parrots? Are you gonna get a parrot? I don't know, man. An African gray parrot for 25 bucks? Could be somebody just looking for the right owner. Don't parrots live for like 70 years? Yeah, I mean, for all you know, you've got a parrot that's like someone's trying to rehome a parrot because someone died. Uh-oh. Is there any sound happening right now? Oh, definitely descendants of dinosaurs. Okay, I was just wondering if YouTube was killing the music. There's some, like, happy-go-lucky basic rock music happening. Oh, here, let me, not exactly parrots, but this is one of my favorite channels. This is a lady who's got a pet she rescued a baby crow, and now it just hangs out in her house. Hey, Granny. Welcome back. Turkey vultures circling over your head. Wow, she's got an owl too. We usually have turkeys walking around out here a lot. They're really cool. The way they walk around in a family, it's kind of gangster. No one messes with turkeys. It's pretty fun. Yeah, we've got intense owls here. They look so serious. They look like they're just ready to just kill you. Have you ever seen what an owl looks like without feathers? Oh, buddy. This is the There you go, that's what they look like without feathers. It's just a lady with a farm, and I don't know if, people bring her birds or not. I know that um, the crow, she found at the farm, but the owl, I'm not so sure about. They're all feather, yeah. It's a great goal to have, Pinky. I think that's what everyone pretty much hopefully wants. Clevine. Huh, I can't find Clevine. Huh, AI has got this all wrong. Parrot's name is Bakudo. Okay. That's hilarious. Oh wait, here she. I think I found the Facebook, the YouTube. That's definitely Brazil. She's speaking Brazilian. Wow. It's almost like it's their conscience. Holy cow. I honestly think that parrot is her conscience. Wow. Look at that, it's beautiful out there. Wow, Portuguese is so wild because it's so close to Spanish. It's like, oh my god. That blew my mind. That blew my mind. Pinky, that was amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh, it jumped into my algorithm where it's just food reviewers. That's Gary. Gary Eats. He's a British guy. It's weird. I have East Tennessee food reviewers that jump into my algorithm, and then like dudes in Ireland and Britain. that, that melted my brain a little bit. That was so intense. I'm definitely a fan of the channel. But wow, her farm was beautiful. Brazil's amazing. It's such a huge place and there's so much cool stuff going on there. There's a saying that all roads in South America lead to Brazil, and it makes sense. Y tú también. So the thing you have to realize about British people and British cuisine is that they don't like things spiced as heavily as Americans do. The American palate is more geared for spice and flavor. So chances are that if you ever do try British Chinese food, it's just going to be kind of bland. Gary Eats, you like watching Gary Eats? Do you ever watch Rate My Takeaway too? That's a pretty fun one. Excuse me. Then I watch Paul's at Worth It. Yeah, Gary's a good guy. I like Gary. Jellied eels. No, thank you. Yeah, Gary's kind of a hoot. I don't mean to kill you. I will say though, like Indian food in the UK would probably be pretty smacking, and there's got to be people um, making really good flavor happen there. I just know that time and time again, they'll even admit it that it's just not as strong. Like I've never heard anybody ever call cinnamon spicy until like I saw a British person trying to rate like a dessert and being like, "Oh, cinnamon, it's too spicy." And it's like, spicy. What are you talking? What are you even talking about? Yeah, they do. I've actually been watching these two kids that come and like try Midwestern food from Britain, and they're just floored. Like they went to Little Caesars and just lost their minds. Like they couldn't believe how good it was. You know. Um, but then the other weird ones is I got locked into this algorithm where it's just East Tennessee food reviewers, and it's like it's just a group of like the most unhealthy people you've ever seen in your life, and they're all just like trying to go and get like overpriced tourist food that's just not that good, or else they're always like going to Dollywood into like and acting like it's just like the be all end all of cuisine. And like one of them I was watching uh these two people, they thought they were all bougie, and they went to the Dollywood Resort to some like restaurant there, some fine dining restaurant at the Dollywood Resort, and they were eating sushi, and it was literally like pork barbecue sushi, and it'd just be like pork shoulder with barbecue sauce on top of the rice, and um like they're just trying to like just force like southern cooking into other things any way they can, like, and it's almost laughable. Yeah, I mean everyone falls for touristy stuff, but this is more just like just cook some good food, and that is the essence of southern cooking. If you ask me, it's just like simple ingredients that are like just with love, that are cooked well, and they're just uh they're just trying to like remix everything. They're like, oh well, what if we put this into this, the one star. um yeah, like the whole Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Seviersville, like that whole entire area, there's probably like 8 or 9 food reviewers, and they're all just just interesting sociological like studies, and just like what's going on with these people to begin with, and like they'll drag their families into these videos and stuff, and you can just tell like sometimes the kids don't want to be there, and or else the kids want to be there way too much, and then it's just like why would I take advice from any of these people? And then um like one of my favorites is Rocky Mountains Food, Faith, and Fun. And I mean they're nice people, and they shoot really good videos, but Hold on, where's the one that they just did? Oh, it's Smoky Mountain, Food, Faith, and Fun, my bad. And, yeah, like, the guy claims to be one of Dolly Parton's, cousins. All these That's the one common thread through all these food reviewers, all worship Dolly. He was telling me she's the queen of that whole area, Dollywood, trying, like, the new food at Dollywood and everything, like, the overpriced garbage that's they're serving at Dollywood. I mean, like, like, right here, gonna sound a little bit we'll just do a commentary over this. Like, right here, they're literally just reviewing, like, an average sushi hibachi place that probably most people would just be like, "Whatever." And, like, it's just kind of like a simple approach. "What's up, Jane?" Yeah, Dolly has a whole theme park called Dollywood that's been around since 1984, and it's probably where a majority of her $1 billion came from. Look at that salad, it just looks freaking depressing. But yeah, it's like, soup actually looks okay. And of course, they're eating deep fried sushi. Dollywood is mega tacky. My wife Mary actually worked out there for a summer, and she said she hated it more than anything. And the funny thing was is at the end of the season, apparently they had to, like, it was the thing that got her through it. She was gonna be able to get a picture with Dolly at the end of the season, but, what really happened was, you were all, like, put in a line, and you had to pay as an employee to get a picture with Dolly. Believe it or not, they actually wanted to charge her, like, 50 bucks or something. This was a while ago too, so that was, like, a lot of money considering she was barely making I think they were making minimum wage. Whoa, veggies. I'm I don't like the fake crab. I'm like, "Just don't use crab. Just don't use fake crab. Use real crab and charge more." I mean, it's literally that fake crab is hot dog of the sea, if you ask me, and I'm just not a fan. And, yeah, the mayo, you just don't need mayonnaise. A lot of sushi has just sort of turned into just fried garbage, if you ask me. I mean, uh I don't fault people for liking it. I mean, it's like getting on someone for not liking a hot dog. That was the worst, flaming volcano I've ever seen, by the way. And, crab boils with fake crab? Ooh. Yeah, it's extruded whitefish and some just random whitefish too. Dollywood is in, the Pigeon Forge, Sevierville area. It's in East Tennessee at the foothills of the mountains. Or not in the foot yeah, I think they consider it the foothills still. And it's where Christian people take their families instead of Disney. Oh, wow, 8 people watching? Well, come on in. We're just making fun of the East Tennessee food scene. I smoke salmon on sushi. There's something wrong with that. It doesn't taste right. Yeah, it's For some reason, Jane, my YouTube algorithm has gotten me into all these East Nashville or these East Tennessee food reviewers, and they're all just like, pleasant folks who are like food that are just kind of like they freak out really basic stuff. Oh yeah, thanks. Like the video as well. That's always nice. Yeah, we don't have the best food scenes here in Tennessee. Nashville's getting pretty good, but as in the sense that we have at least one of everything. But it's like, Tennessee, if you're gonna brag about barbecue, I say go to Memphis. If you want to come get some hot chicken, come to Nashville. And then if you want to like hang out with people like this on the screen, then go to East Tennessee and get all that Christian food service food. Yeah, it all looks a little sad. That's my whole point. And it's weird because you think um, I would get pointed towards Nashville food reviewers, and then I realize there aren't any. And if we do have food reviews done, it's always like people that travel around that do food reviews. There's no one doing local food reviews here there's one guy and he's just gross. Um, he's actually uh, mocked on the internet because he has a cooking channel too, and he's such a bad cook. Everyone makes fun of him. His name's Jack on the Go, or Jack Scalafani, and him and his wife do like a little local show, but they'll literally like review gas station chicken, like that's some sort of freaking like anybody needs to know that doesn't suck. Fried ravioli, yeah, man. Fried ravioli is good stuff. One of my favorites is fried calamari, and honestly, that's something that could have gotten me sick the other last week too. I was eating a good chunk of that. Some gas stations are okay now. At least up here, we're starting to get gas stations where they'll actually make you a real sandwich, and it's not horrible. But yeah, anything pre-made gas station evil stuff, no. But I've noticed that gas stations are trying to turn into restaurants, at least in the southern U.S. Yeah, no, no thanks. I don't want any nuclear pickles and pouches. Oh God, but these two, they're married, and like the dude on the left says he's Dolly Parton's cousin, and at one point they got all serious and did this like really intense live, and the wife was freaking out because she just got sick of everyone calling her fat, and he said like we're gonna hold back and not do so many videos. And then he started talking about how he got rickets and how he's seen it all, and you can make fun of him, but don't make fun of his wife. And they're just classic Tennessee duo as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure they're nice folks and everything. It's just such a weird universe to walk into. Yeah, rickets, right? It's like, well, look at that. Would you go there? It's obviously just the only place around where they live. Ugh, look at that. Ugh, with no sound, it really does kind of bring home like what actually is going on there, like how bad it is. That wasn't cheese. That was I think what you were talking about was that orange ginger salad with that freaking dressing that they've been putting on salads since, like the 1980s. Well, yeah, if you filled up my gas tank, I'd say that's romantic too. But don't make fun of my wife because I've had rickets and I've seen it all. Rich and Jen. These 2 I actually like. They're just so goofy that you can't really d Rich and Jen, dude, don't they look like a nice couple? Get some short sleeves on and get out and get some nice seafood. 3D printed sushi. Actually thinking it believe it or not, is I know enough about 'em now at this point from watching them so much to know that they moved from Florida and they sold fish for 30 years. Like, they go into Tennessee and try to eat fish, and so it's just, you know, you think it would be horrifying for them anyway, but they seem to find good spots. It's not gorgeous. Korean fried chicken rings. Yeah, I'm sure they make those in-house. There's like a nice, plastic cup of beer when you're at a sit-down restaurant. There's a place up near where I used to live in Wisconsin that's known for having, like, the world's largest, Bloody Mary. It's called Sobel's. They put an entire roast chicken on top of it and, like, sliders and stuff. Yeah, Bloody Marys are about a nice Sunday morning, like, you're hungover and, you just need salt in you and, like, some bad vitamin C. You've seen pics of Sobelman's? Yeah, I think it's called Sobelman's. Dave C. Dave C. dropping grenades right from the start. Nothing says appetizers like some fried salmon. Amazing. 3D printed sushi, and then that comment from Dave C. are my 2 win the chat so far. Yeah, it's a warm day, David, and they decided to put on short sleeves and adventure out into the South and get some seafood. Jane, Dave's an avid commenter and on our channel here, and um, makes my day quite often seeing both of your comments. So I would say you 2 have more in common than you don't, at least when it comes to this channel. Oh, he's dipping. So keep in mind that these 2 people sold fish down in Florida for 30 years, and this dude ends up ordering lobster mac and cheese. Yeah, I mean, well, you're down in Florida, dude. The seafood down there is just another level. I mean, if you're in Georgia, other than being in Savannah or along the coast, I'm not sure where you're gonna get good seafood. I I've been in Florida enough to know that, yes, seafood is awesome in Florida. I was watching this other, food review goofballs they're based out of, like, the New Jersey, Philadelphia area, and they were down in the Dominican Republic, and they're like, "We wanna order some fresh seafood," and so they ordered they ordered salmon, and I'm just like, Where are you getting fresh salmon in the Dominican Republic?" And it was just really weird. Yeah, US coastal seafood is, anywhere close to the coast is great, and then if you're inland, like, I lived in Minnesota for a long time, and there was great, um, river fish, like white river fish, trout, sturgeon, perch. It's just, you're not gonna get good shrimp, you're not gonna get really good salmon unless you're out on the West Coast. Um, seafood's like anything, it's a local thing. Actually, I had a interesting situation walking walking the doggos because we've had so much rain that I actually have fish out here. There's fish in these streams, and one of the streams has been overflowing, and um, I go walking across the field to go visit Sassy the horse, and I see the dogs getting all worked up about something. I go over there, and there's literally like 25, 30 fish just on the ground, just flopping because they they swam over the whatever retaining pond or whatever pool they were in from too much water. Yeah, it was really wild. We've got all these fish out here. I've got it on camera. You'll probably see it in the next, week or so. Maryland crabs, yeah. Trout. I, trout almondine is one of my favorite dishes to eat, and I can never find it anywhere. Culver's, that's a Wisconsin operation with a pretty good fish sandwich, believe it or not. I remember they had 2 fish sandwiches. Wow, so you can get ooh, trout, yum. Another one is like Lake Michigan sturgeon. Sturgeon is a freaking amazing, such a good fish. I don't know if you ever had the chance to eat sturgeon. Pike. Yeah, I feel like pike isn't a I feel like people I've talked to about fish don't like pike too much. I remember where I grew up, muskie was a very, like, no fish. Perch, we had perch where I was from. Perch is really good. Fun to fish, not to eat. Yeah, I've heard that. Pickerel? Never heard of that. Walleye, that's it. We had walleye up in Minnesota. There were some places you could go, a couple bars, you can get walleye bites. They'd have that year round. Yeah, tilapia. See, the thing about tilapia for the rest of the country is just this, like, alternative to chicken, and it's usually, like, this farmed little 4-ounce fillet, but, yeah, tilapia in Florida is the real deal, it's amazing. Walleye? Pickerel's walleye, okay, gotcha. Yeah, crabs is expensive. I go to the point where if I'm gonna have crab, I end up just going with king crab and spending the money because it just ends up being less effort. I mean, I guess that or else go to, like, a Chinese buffet and really cash in. Jane, have a good one. Sorry for making you so hungry. Yeah, and that's why crab does make you work for it, and that's why I'm like, I'll just spend the extra 20 bucks and get, like, 2 giant king crab legs, and it's the only time I've ever really gotten full on crab. Otherwise, I gotta eat, like, 2 or 3 pounds of that stuff. And then what's that crab that you eat the entire crab? Is that blue crab? Oh, I won't what put that on. Here's one of my favorite Rate My Takeaway is one of the best British, food review shows there is. Any soft shell crab, yeah. Lobster was fed to the poor, yeah. Well, while they were all eating bad salt pork. I'm always amazed by, like, how hungry do you think people got before they started eating mussels and clams and stuff? Like, they're literally just watching the birds eat them. Ugh, raw crab? Like, raw crab? No, thanks. Yeah, if you're out there, come say hi. Thanks for watching. Oh gosh, who were those people that I was don't mind me, I'm just looking oh, yeah, who are these guys? Alright. Yeah, I wouldn't eat raw shrimp either. It's just like jelly almost. Yeah, but being grossed out by something cooked versus something that's raw is eh. I mean, at least put some vinegar on it and make it like viche type thing where it's cooking a little bit or it's at least disinfecting itself. So this guy, Danny, he orders the food, and then to escape any copyright claim from music being played inside, he'll just set up his table outside, and then people will walk by him and just, like, yell at him and stuff. Steak tartare is pretty amazing if you have it done right, but you need to, like, put some Worcestershire on it or some vinegar or some lemon. You have to do something to disinfect it. I don't care what they say, but, I think a lot of that stuff is presentation, but, even then, you put an acid on it, it's gonna, like, technically cook it a little bit. Either way, I gotta show you guys this couple. Steve's Real Reviews. These 2 are quite the couple. Yeah, see, like, the raw egg, I think is probably overdoing it a little bit, like, first off, you have to use top grade ground beef. It has to be, like, ground sirloin. It can't be cheap beef or a cheaper cut, and then, you almost smear it on, like, a toasted piece of bread or, like, a really beefy, thick cracker. Put a little piece of lemon on it, some salt and pepper, and then squirt it with some lemon or a drop of Worcestershire sauce, and then when you put that in your mouth, the meat just kinda, like, disappears into all of it. You're not just eating, like, just raw meat in your mouth. The raw egg thing, meh, not for me, man. But dude, Steve's Real Food Reviews is kind of a trip, and, they just review, like, really gross, like, shitty cheap food. Worcester. Leanne he makes Leanne count the pepperonis, and she's horrible at it. She can never get it right. Oh, yeah, there's really obscure channels about nothing, and then there's huge scenes behind it too. Yeah, Screaming Sicilian. Dude, the my whole thing with frozen pizzas is just like, you may as well just go get a pizza at this point because they're like 10, 12 bucks now. Because they count the pepperoni, and then he makes Leanne do it first, and she always messes it up. But these guys do have 5 cute dogs. Emco, how you doing? All I know is, like, I saw Screaming Sicilian at a, at a store, and they wanted $12 for one, and I can make that. I can make a frozen pizza for less than $12, or I can just literally go to, like, Domino's and get one for $9, or go to Little Caesars and get one for 5. So I just don't get, like, I don't get it. I come from the world where frozen pizza is supposed to be cheap and shitty. But yeah, I have had Screaming Sicilian, though. It's a good pizza. It did used to make sense. You know what else doesn't make sense is these pizza makers, this pizza oven that they're using. My friend, used to have one, and it used to miss the dead center of the pizza. It'd be, like, frozen cold. That pizza ain't done. Oh, dang. I bet Pennsylvania's got an amazing pizza scene, other than Altoona, of course. Yeah, the pi see, they got cute dogs. A husky named Miko, though, is not very original. Very thin. We were thinking this guy's either, like, a professor of history or, um, like, drives Uber. We're not sure which. So, dude, look at that. What is that? Look at the bo what are you doing? Yeah, the letters in the fridge aren't bad. Oh, dude, they have, like, a full-on, like, spreadsheet that they show off of all their pizza reviews. Yeah, a raw saltine cracker. Yeah, we cooked it like a 50-cent pizza. Bassett, huh? Bassett Joe, great to see you, man. I've been loving your videos. Whoa, Leanne doesn't know where to start, guys. Oh, damn. Pinky, if you make that channel, I will watch it. That sounds amazing. Get people to send you tinned fish from all over the world for you to try. Totino so Totino's actually came from, Minneapolis, and we thought that just the crappy pizza frozen pizza brand came from Minneapolis, but there's actually the restaurant, and we used to drive by it, and we just thought it was a coincidence, and it's like, "No, this is the people who made the gross pizza." We went in there and got a pizza one day, and it was horrible. It was just as bad, and, like, just, like, soulless Italian food. My friend got spaghetti and meatballs, and it was literally like a can of spaghetti and meatballs. And it literally they'd been there since the '50s. It was the grossest stuff. Ugh, ex yeah, there's those meal ration guys too, where they'll eat, like, old, like, army crap. Yeah. So, yeah, the original Totino's restaurant is it's literally like walking into, like, Chef Boyardee's home and just, like, you know, throwing a Molotov cocktail and walking out. Yeah, there's those MRE channels where it's like, "I've got this, Yugoslavian MRE from 1954, and we're gonna open it up and eat it." Yeah, but it's like college professor or or Uber driver. I knew a guy that used to take 2 Totinos, cook them, and then mash them like a sandwich and eat them in college. Yeah, there's that was the spreadsheet, the pizza spreadsheet. I'll be honest, it's the dogs that keep me coming back to this channel. Yeah, that pizza is only $3.99, but it looks like Jack's is really lightened up, shrinkflated over the years here. I remember Jack's used to being like there was Jack's and Tombstone, and those were like the 2 $5 pizzas, and Jack's was always like 70 cents less, and actually better. I remember I liked their sauce a little better. Dave, take care, man. It was great seeing you. Boy, this dude just needs to be talking about dialysis and diabetes at this point. Yeah, you're crazy. Yeah, this is how messed up my algorithm is on YouTube. I get, uh I get just these absolute bizarros, like, eating the weirdest, grossest food and reviewing it, and then I just find it endearing and sort of just can't stop watching, I guess. I mean, the other one is just, like, this, like, this really impulsive, like, just, like, obese couple, another obese couple, and they just go all over, like they're always on the road, and they do, like, these ADD drops into, like, stuffed crust pizza, and they'll literally talk for an hour about, like, Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza, and I can't handle it anymore. I don't watch them that closely, but they really they drop a video every day, and it's kind of amazing that they have it in them. And then every now and then, like, every now and then, like, the wife will just go off on her own and just have, like, a big ol' freak out, and, like, they'll nonstop talk about how they're going on a diet, and 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 like, "Oh, we're gonna start our weight loss journey tomorrow," and it's just like, you're doing a food review every day, and they're literally eating, like, 5,000 calories. Did you ever hear the story about how stuffed crust pizza was invented? Um, so the US government bought a huge surplus of cheese, and they were storing it in caves, and, they were doing it to bail out the dairy industry, and I'm not sure like when or how this actually happened, but we had, I guess, just tons of cheese storing in caves. And so for the government to get rid of it, they started cutting a deal on people willing to buy bulk amounts of cheese, but they had to buy it in like, you have to buy it in X. You can't just go in and buy a couple blocks. They had to buy truckloads of this shit. So the people they went to were the pizza makers, and the pizza companies were trying to figure out a way to get rid of more cheese. And so what they did is they just roll it in the crust. And that's how stuffed crust pizza was invented. Is yeah, just from a government subsidy and just having too much of it laying around, and then a bunch of cheap cheese. Yeah, get the bassets to guard the cheese cave. Yeah, the more you know. Personally, I would like to have some pizza made with like full fat mozzarella cheese. It's all done with skim milk cheese now. And I grew up in Milwaukee, and there's real deal Italian people up there making some pretty off the hook Italian food. And I'm sure, this happens everywhere, but um full fat, like a full fat mozzarella, it gets so stringy that if you eat it too quickly, it'll start to string down your throat and you'll choke. But at the same time, that's the cheese that tastes like literally like butter when you're eating it. It's the type of pizza where you can only eat like a slice or two because you're just full. And all the pizza companies, I think, to get away from the liability of people choking, have gone to just skim milk cheese, low fat skim milk. And so yeah, a lot of times, like, I remember when I was a kid, like Domino's pizza was good, and then it just sort of changed over time. And I think that's kind of what happened is just all that skim milk cheese. Emco, are you lactose tolerant? Pinky, all the cheese that you eat on pizzas are skim milk cheese. It's a bummer. Oh wait, no, you're not lactose intolerant. That's cool. Because I know that's kind of a hard deal. But yeah, it's skim milk cheese is also called low fat cheese. And hell, I'd even be into like just some medium. But when you see like a real deal cheese pull and it's just ridiculous, that's full fat cheese. But yeah, I don't know. I remember the last time I tried, like I'd come back from college, I forgotten about it. And we went to this place called Calderon Club, and it's a pizza place that's been there for freaking, 80, 90 years. And they do a crust called the cracker crust. Milwaukee style pizza is cracker crust. So it's this really tiny squares and just super crispy. And I remember just devouring it. Like I was just drunk and I just was devouring it and I just started choking in the restaurant. Hey, Heike, how you doing? What's your favorite pizza restaurant in China, Emco? Because I got to tell you, when it comes to just pizza looking insane, Korea is really doing a number on pizza. Korean pizza is amazing looking. Brazilian pizza is also freaking crazy too. It's just like, what even is it? Oh, this guy. Hanzun pizza. Okay. This guy, I kinda I've seen this pizza guy before, I kinda can't stand him. A completely different universe. Fermented honey and garlic is a classic remedy for sickness, sorry. fermented honey and garlic. Hanzun pizza. Emco just mentioned hands-on. Emco, there's no, I can't find any hands-on pizza in China, at least not on my side of the firewall. Bummer. Well, wait, what town is it in? I bet I could find it on maps. Oh yeah, don't go buy $30 black garlic. Amco, what? I bet I could find it on maps though. What's Nanning? Okay, thanks. Okay, so there it is. Pictures, bummer. There you go. How's that for a pizza? Minzu Avenue on the map of Nanning. Okay. Okay. Found it. The naked owl, yep. That was an owl without feathers. What am I looking for here, Emco? On Nanning. On Minzu Boulevard in Nanning. Little flan in the middle of the pizza. Yeah, this is what Brazil does to pizza. It's just another planet. And they're starting to pop up with Brazilian pizza places, um, around, the America at this point. No idea. This seems to be a popular one with hard-boiled egg, olives, and ham. What's on Cuban pizza? Yeah, I think they just it's like a I think Brazilian people are just trying to one up the rest of the world. Cuban pizza. Looks like there's a lot more cheese on it. Oh, jeez. None of them are the same. Argentinian pizza is kind of a weird deal too. Like, I've never seen more cheese on a pizza ever than Argentinian pizza. Cuban food is fire. Some of the best food I ever had has been Cuban food. Elite. Nothing like an elitist cinnamon roll to get you going. Apparently that's a Cuban pizza. Hungry Howie's Cuban pizza. So it's just light on the sauce, huh? Three guys from Miami, Cuban pizza. Is Reyes Pizza? Who's the big Pinky? Who's the big a Cuban pizza place? Is it Reyes or Reyes? Wow, great website, dude. Wow, so the toppings go underneath. I don't know if I can about toppings necessarily going underneath the cheese. Like I kind of want that heat to get on those veggies a little bit and get on that meat, or else in my experience the pizza gets watery. But I mean, I guess if I just kept it to just cheese, or like the I remember I had prosciutto once on a pizza, and that was underneath the cheese, and that seemed to make sense because that prosciutto would just shrivel and get tough. Yeah, man, Mco, you could start up a pizza place and just sort of take over nannying. And honestly, I think if you just use full fat cheese, at this point, I think if anybody uses full fat cheese at their pizza place, they're just gonna freaking create a create an institution immediately. So Argentina had like a big Italian um diaspora in 1900s, and so like they've got crazy ass pizza, but it's like they'll use this cream cheese on it and mozzarella cheese, and it like literally it just gets how much cheese they're putting on those things. Like look at that. That's two types of cheese there. But yeah, I've seen like little documentaries where they've got. I mean, down in Argentina, they've got pizza places that are 100 years old that are just pumping out this weird, like double cheese pizza with onions. They'll just cover the top of it with onions and cook it. Yeah, get some Sichuan peppercorn. Emco, if I had the money, I'd fly to Nannying and we'd set up a pizza place tomorrow. All we'd have to do is find some dairy farmer that'd be willing to make us some cheese. Like, they're using full fat cheese down in Argentina. Yeah, little goat cheese is not. Anyone doing goat cheese pizza? I mean, I've always the closest I'm sure me occasionally, but my wife loves goat cheese. But um, the closest I see is ricotta, like a ricotta vibe. Oh yeah, faina. That's the other thing they do. They make this chickpea pie called faina, which is just like literally just like a baked chickpea dough, and they'll put that on top of the pizza. I mean, a favorite pizza, MCO, I mean, when you're talking about just like a favorite pizza, the best pizza, like if you're talking about a type of pizza, is just going to be a thin crust pepperoni, in my opinion. That's 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 where you start all pizzas at. Thin crust pepperoni. And then from there, Italian sausage and mushroom is another classic. People might tell you different, but it's definitely like I'd say the most ordered pizza is going to be in the United States. It's going to be a pepperoni pizza with a thin crust, or else just a straight cheese pizza. Yeah, go. Personally, I say go for the pepperoni unless you're in a place where they're not really making pepperoni. But I prefer a thin crust, thick thin crust. A good thin crust piece you should be able to hold up, and it should relatively stay straight. It shouldn't fall. It shouldn't flop. Yeah, I'm mushroom pepperoni is good. Complicated. There's nothing complicated about that, my man. What sounds complicating about a pepperoni pizza with a thin crust? Like you can walk into most pizza places and just get a slice of pepperoni, a big slice of pepperoni, usually about that big, for a few bucks. And what? Okay, so pepperoni. They don't have pepperoni. Yeah, you always want the crust well done, especially if they're shy about their pizza. Well, let me put up my translator here. I guess what I'm saying is MCO, if you're going to a pizza place, even in China, they should know what pepperoni is. If they don't, they're trying to pull a fast one. Chinese simplified. Or else. Let's see what Granny. And here you go. Here's how you'd say it. Nice, dude. Pizza is pizza. Good to see that. Yeah, dude. Pepperoni pizza is it's like Afro funk music. It's a universal constant. Everyone's gonna like it. No one's gonna have problems with it. If they do, they're the ones with the problem. Nah, pepperoni is not made with. Well, I guess pepperoni and halal could be made with beef. Wonder what it's like when you. I want a thin crust pepperoni pizza. Nice. You translate it back and forth, and then it always changes it. Yeah, dude. There's no lying. A pepperoni pizza is delicious. Like it's one of the things where people who are vegetarian, like they regret being a vegetarian. Thank you. Stacy is doing remarkably well, but I have a feeling once it happens, it's going to happen quick. I'm just trying to make sure that we can keep the anti-inflammatories in her every day, twice a day, and hopefully just keep that thing at bay for a little while. And love you, Granny. Thanks for stopping by. And you guys, I'm probably gonna once again. I tried to start off with a shorter stream again, just sort of mess around and have internet fun with y'all. And we've gone over 2 hours, and I got to get on with my day. So it was great seeing you all, 7 of you, and whoever was out there. Still appreciate you. And Emco, I hope you get yourself a good slice of pepperoni pizza. The entire world deserves a slice of pepperoni pizza. And hey, everybody, maybe it's Pizza Sunday. Y'all go get yourself a pizza. Make yourself a pizza. And yeah, potatoes. I think just going back on all the things we were talking about. Potatoes are delicious. Parrots are cool. There's weird pizza all over the world. Cuban pizza is a thing. Birds are cool. Owls look weird when they don't have feathers. Things like that. I mean, this is just as much real deal info as I think a group of people should be sharing. And I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for coming by. I don't monetize these because it just seems ridiculous because I'd rather just hang out and get to know everyone and try to understand like what you guys want to see from the channel. And believe me, let me know in the comments if I need to do anything or show anything, or if I just need to start doing food reviews. And have a great weekend, rest of your weekend, and hope the week starts off really well. I'm going to be starting a new job soon, and hopefully that'll be a fun new thing where I get to work on my Spanish a lot more. And have a great week, everybody. Yeah, it's not super official yet, but it's time. Muy bien. Gracias, amigas. Y'all have a wonderful week, and we'll see you in the comment section. Bye bye now.